Hello! For those of you who don't know me, which will be most of you, I am an art person who makes art, and my name is Shreya. I mostly like painting with oil paint, but sometimes I dabble in acrylic and watercolor. I suck at watercolor, so I think I might give that up entirely. But yeah, I like painting with oil paints, and I've made a bunch of oil paintings this past year. I actually just started painting this year. I'm a self-taught artist. Haven't really had any formal education, unless you count YouTube videos as formal education, then I don't know. And because I'm a self-taught artist, most of the things I learned were from Instagram, YouTube, some experimentation, trial and error, figuring out what worked for me, what didn't. But there's this really interesting thing I learned from one of my own reels that I uploaded recently. This reel was about how you can use cadmium red, cadmium yellow, cobalt blue, and titanium white in your color palette to mix just about almost any color. But the comment section, like 80 to 90% of you guys were saying that you can instead use the CMYK palette. Some of you were even saying it's better and that you preferred it, which I was a bit surprised about because I've never heard of CMYK. It's either probably because I didn't do enough research, or maybe I'm just that inexperienced when it comes to painting. But either way, I think the best way to learn art is to learn from another artist, because you can just give each other the tips and tricks that you formulated on your own through the years or months in my case. So now I'm really curious, which one's better, RBY or CMYK? And to figure that out, I devised an experiment by painting the same painting twice, but I use RBY palette in one and then I use CMYK in the other. So I went out and bought like a bunch of material that I could use in order to experiment. I got 2 square canvases that I can paint on. I got some magenta because that was the only color I didn't have. I had cyan and I had yellow, but not magenta. And some brushes because I didn't have big thistly ones like this one. So yay, we got our supplies and we can begin. Cue the time lapse.
Tomorrow.
Alright, it is the next day and I ended up getting absolutely nothing done. Instead, I procrastinated and painted something that is entirely different. But hopefully today we can gesso the boards because I forgot to do that. By the way, I don't know if it's pronounced gesso or gesso, so yeah. But hopefully we can get the boards gessoed today and then I can just start on at least one painting once it's dried. And then do the other the next day. But let's hope we can get at least that much done today. Okay, so this here is my gesso and this is my brush. I'm just gonna, put on some layers and then let it dry. And then I'll come back to it in a few hours and then start painting. So, yes.
Tomorrow for sure.
Also, I decided to take a random reference from the internet just by searching oil painting face reference. I thought that the reference I picked had a good balance of light and shadow, so I went with that. So I'm done with the first painting and this is how it turned out, as you saw in the time lapse. It's not the most proportionate, I know that, but I think what matters more is how the plethora of colors I created through the palette, the first one that is red, blue, and yellow, turned out. So this is it, and I'll be moving on to the next one either later on today or tomorrow, depending on my mood. But I'm a little nervous about doing the next one because first of all, I've never done it before, and second, I have to repeat the same reference twice and I'm worried that I'll get exhausted and just mess it up even further. But yes, on to CMYK. not too shabby, I think. But yeah, these are the comparisons. This is RBY, this is CMYK. Sorry, I'm trying to fight the glare, but yeah, I'm pretty much done. I do think that it was easier to bring out the rosy hue in this one than this one because it was really hard to create pink, and I'm starting to think that maybe I should change up my palette and stick to the CMYK because as per your guys' suggestion, it went really well. So thank you, audience. Also, I forgot to add that I realized that I made one head smaller than the other, and that was obviously skill issue, but overall, I think the experiment went pretty well in the sense that when I went to try out something new, I think that the new one turned out better. So yeah, that's my experiment, and let me know if you guys thought I conducted it well or if there was something I should have added, and let me know which one you guys thought was better. So this is the first video I'm making where I'm not putting my voice in the background of a time-lapse of me painting, and this is actually face to camera. So I'm still working on my filming techniques, but if you guys have any suggestions as to how I can improve or if you want to see something, let me know in the comments, and that will be all. Bye!